పురాణానామాలయం నమామి భగవత్పాదశంకరం లోకశంకరం. సదేవ సౌమ్యేదమగ్ర ఆసీత్ ఏకమేవాద్వితీయం యత్ర నాన్యత్ పశ్యతి ఆత్మైవేదం సర్వం బ్రహ్మైవేదం సర్వం ఆత్మా వా ఇదమేక ఏవాగ్ర ఆసీత్ సర్వం ఖల్విదం బ్రహ్మ ఇత్యాద్యాః ఆత్మైక్య ప్రతిపాదనపరాః శ్రుతీః Upadeshet. That was earlier. Upadeshet is the verb. You find it in the beginning of the quotes. Atmaikya pratipadana paraha shrutihi upadeshet. The Acharya should instruct the Shrutis, the teachings which expound on the oneness of Atma. That is the Vakya. So, suppose you go to some Acharya, he teaches some silly thing, some elementary thing. What is the use? You don't get anything from it. Stories you can read yourself. You don't need a teacher to read. You do know Chandamama Balamitra? You know that? Some story, English version would be like Harry Potter, etc. Do you need a teacher to teach all those stories? You can read yourself, you know. You don't need a teacher. So for grammar, etc., for like mathematics, you need a teacher. For Atmaikya means Atma is myself and that is one. All is myself. Atmaivedam sarvam. All this is myself. Generally, myself is the subject and all this is the object. But now, what you are looking at is yourself. Atmaivedam idam sarvam atmaiva. How? This is the Shruti that talks of the oneness of Atma. Now, there are a few interesting issues or aspects with that Vakya. Sadeva Somyakadamagrasi Chandogyopanishad. Yatra Nanyat Pashyati Chandogyopanishad. Atmaivedam Sarvam. So, that is Brihadaranyaka. So, first comes Samaveda, then came Yajurveda, and then Atma va idameka evagra asit. That is from Aitreya Upanishad, that is Rigveda. And finally, Sarvam Kalvedam Brahma. That must be, that looks like a Chandogya, in which case it is again Samaveda. Otherwise, if it came from Atharvana Veda, all the four Vedas seem to be covered. That is the idea. Shruti. That is one important aspect. Another interesting point is, you see the words Atma, Brahma and Sat are used to mean the same Vastu. The meanings are different, but they point out the same Vastu. Like Ramo Dasharathihi, Ramaha, name of a person. Dasharathihi is also the same person, the son of Dasharatha. Meaning of the word is different. But the object which is pointed out by the words is the same. Shabda Pravurti Nimitta is different, but Nirdeshya is same. Got it? So, therefore here you are looking at one reality, one truth. And now the truth is called as Sat, we have seen that. It is also called Brahma, The Brahma Vedam Sarvam, Sarvam Khalvedam Brahma, etc. That is also the name given to the truth. You see, the truth which is one without a second, then it cannot have any attributes. It is attributeless, utterly attributeless, in which case it cannot have a form and hence it cannot have a name. The reality is nameless and formless. It is so unfortunate to see people stuck badly with forms and names. The names which point out to the nameless is great. They are great. Such names could be helpful. You have to do something about what is there, you know. The fellow is sitting with 1,000 names. Now what to do about it? Look at those names. They seem to be pointing out to the nameless and formless reality. Okay, God bless. He is doing something useful. Hopefully one day he will be guided in the right direction. So that kind of a Sahasranama or Shata, Ashtottara Shatanama could be useful. In that sense, Vishnu Sahasranama is useful. Majority of the other Sahasranamas are parodies. They are imitations. So because Vishnu there is Sahasranama, therefore we should have a Sahasranama for everything else. For Gayatri you want to have Sahasranama. Gayatri is a chandas to begin with. Then first you make it into a Devata and then have 1,000 names. And then some other Sahasranama. Like that there are so many Sahasranamas. So these are all put together Sahasranamas which do not have any direction. The only direction seems to be somehow make up 1,000 names. That is the only direction that seems to be there. Therefore, they are all not very useful, and also they do not point out to the higher reality. Suppose you say, Sahasrana, if I say it doesn't sound nice also, you know. So in Sahasranama, you go on saying, in childhood he played marbles, and then he played cricket, and then as he grew up he went to high school. Like that if you write namas, what is the use of those namas? And most of these asanamas will be like that only. All phenomenal. Phenomenal mane, all things that are done by him are listed. And that makes some 100, 200 namas. Just to go on spinning there only, recycling there only. Somehow manage to get 1,000 names. And those names will not help you to rise above the names and forms. Those names will hold you back in further names and forms. You see, it is like you are in a prison and you want to improve the prison within. You don't want to come out of the prison. You want to improve the prison and make it clean a little more. Or decorate it. The prison, inside the prison, decorate with flowers. And there put an altar and try to do something about it within the prison. You don't want to come out of the prison. And after a while what happens is you have developed so much attachment to the prison, even if they want to send you out, you don't want to go. ऐसा हो जाता है. Anyway, so the reality is essentially nameless and formless. And now you give a name to the nameless. So Sat is a name that is given to the nameless. The name should be like that. Achyuta. Beautiful name. That which never comes down from its from that higher state of non-attachment, from that it never comes down. That is the name. How beautiful it is. Ananta. It has no limitation. That is the limitless. That is the name. So the name given to the nameless, Brahma, is like that, which is the name given to the nameless. Atma is like that. What is Atma? The innermost self. It doesn't say this or that. It says innermost self. That is the Atma. So these are the names given to the reality which is essentially nameless and formless. Now the point I wanted to make is these words Brahma, Sat, Atma, they are all pointing out to the same reality. That is what I wanted to say. Therefore, in a class, suppose there is only discussion about Atma, you should not complain there is no Ishvara, because you missed the whole point. Atma is Ishvara. Or you want just the name Ishvara? You want to hear Ishvara like that? I already made a complaint. The people say God 10 times a day. They don't pay attention to godliness. They only say God. Like that, go on saying Ishvara. And when the occasion is there or not, just put Ishvara into it. And then imagine that you are doing a great service to society or God or whatever. Just saying Ishvara is not the point. When you say Atma, it is the Ishvara only. When you say Brahma, that is Ishvara only. Sat is Ishvara only. The Tikakara points it out. These are all paryayaha. Sad bhuma atma brahma shabdah paryayaha. That is what he says. So sat bhuman, prathama ekavachanam will be bhuma, brahma, brahman is the pratipadika. Brahma, prathama ekavachanam. You see, the Guru Stotra they recite, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. It's okay. Then you want to say, Guru Reva Param Brahma, you have to say. You should not say Param Brahma. There come should not be there. Don't do samasa. If you do samasa, Param becomes Param Brahma, and okay, if you want to do, you can do, but the right way it is Param Brahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Haraswam. You have to say like that. Because I had people saying slightly differently, I thought I will point out. So, therefore, so Atmai Vedam Sarvam. We come back to the point. All this is Atma. You see, I was saying that there is, when you say there is something, part or whatever. So that is the sense of being. There is the sense of being. Isness, the sense of being. And then I am is also the sense of being. Now, the sense of being is divided. I am the sense of being, there is the sense of being. Sense of being is divided, means the being is divided, apparently. But then the division is false. The division is wrong. You see, to take an example, there are 10 fans rotating. But there is in every fan, there is the power which makes it rotate. Because the fan itself is not independent and self-sufficient. It needs to be empowered or energized by the electricity. So there is electricity. You can say it is the self of every fan. Electricity is the self of the fan. Electricity is also the self of the bulbs that are glowing. Electricity is also the self of the mic that is working. But now how many selves are there now? There is only one self. You could readily understand that there is only one self. Because you have understood something about electricity. Suppose I tried it experimentally. I tried with a villager who did not know much. He was not sure it is one electricity. He was not sure. He was thinking that the electricity that is in his house is inferior. He is a poor man. Government gave him one line and gave one bulb. One bulb is what all he has. And then he sees the master's house in a different locality, and the house is full of electric gadgets and all that. He believes that the electricity in his house is a different electricity from the electricity in his master's house. He believes like that. Why he believes like that? Why can't he see such a simple truth that electricity is one, which is the self of every single fan, the self of every single bulb, self of every single gadget, but the electricity is one, the self is one. So why can't he see that? Which you and I can so readily see, even a 10th class student probably can see it, But this illiterate person could not see it. Why can't he see? There could be some reason. What is the reason? He is not trained, he is not educated to see the oneness, and he is entrenched in fragmentary thinking. That is his problem. That's why he cannot see the oneness of electricity. Okay? Now, thank God all of you are able to see oneness of electricity. I hope so. Because some people, they don't want to see the oneness of electricity in the temple, electricity in a lowly guy's home. Are they same? Are you sure? Good. Because you never know with these guys. Because they are embodiments of fragmentary thinking, divisive thinking. That is how they are accustomed to think. They cannot do anything better than that. And now they quote all kinds of shastras to support their divisive thinking. They say, Shani is Shudraha, Guru is Brahmanaha. Now, can I complain the way I complain? Do I have a meaning in complaining the way I complain? What do you mean by Shani is Shudra? Why he is Shudra? Why he is not Brahmana? Because Shani will do always mischief. That's why he is Shudra. So, this is the type of thinking that people have. This is how they divide. Can you expect anything better from them? Can you, with that kind of a mindset, can you expect them to understand the oneness of the truth? How is it going to happen? Do I have a right to complain or not? So, what are you talking? Shani is a Shudra. What do you mean by that? And Shani has what is that? Eyesight is somewhat Vakradrishti. That is Vakradrishti means a crooked eye, but also sometimes people have crossed eye. Quint. Shani has that. That is the conclusion. So therefore, Atmaivedam Sarvam. So the fragmentary thinking into which people got entrenched, and now they have shastras to support their fragmentary thinking. They have shastras. And so with that kind of environment, with that kind of conditioning, you will never come to know the truth of oneness of Atma. You have to know that idam sarvam Atma. All this is myself. Means you just imagine how much you have to expand yourself. Presently, what are you? This is myself. Except this, everything else is not myself. This is myself. And therefore start worshipping this. That is what we do. So this is the God, and catering to its needs is the religion. So you see on the dollar bill it is printed. What? God is great, or we believe in God? We trust in God. In God we trust. You know what is the God? The bill. Therefore, so you are so attached to this form that you have to keep it in good health. I don't deny that, because otherwise it will come in the way. It won't allow me to go beyond. That's why I have to keep it in good shape. But that is not the point. You have to, this is the God, and I have to worship this God. And worshipping this God, catering to the needs of this body is the religion. And then constant fear that it will become defiled. Our body is already defiled. Body, is it going to be defiled? by somebody's touching it will be defiled. Is it not already defiled? Body is ever impure. Do you know this? Body is a machine, like every other machine. It also produces something. Like a donut machine produces donuts. Right? Ice cream machine produces ice cream. The machine called body produces impurities. And you are worried that it will be defiled by somebody else coming near. What are you talking of, the Brahmajnana? Where is Brahmajnana in that? Therefore, you have to expand a lot your vision. You have to expand a lot. You see, I'll give you an example. Some mathematics example, not very difficult mathematics, you can easily understand. So you visualize a circle, a small circle. The circle has a center and a small radius because it's a small circle. And because the radius is small and the circle is small, its curvature is highest. And its concavity means that curvedness within includes very little, right? And excludes everything else. Right? It is concave, it's concave towards very little and excludes everything else. Okay? Now, you expand the circle, make it a bigger circle. Now the circle, as the circle, next bigger circle is the radius increases. As radius increases, the curvature reduces. And concavity increases. Means inclusivity increases. Now excluding, still it is excluding everything else. Right? But it includes a lot more. Now increase the radius, make it further high, bigger radius. Now again, as center remains the same, center will be there, one center, the radius is much bigger. Now the curvature is reduced. Curvature reduced means it is becoming closer to a straight line. It is less unlike a straight line. Earlier it is very much unlike a straight line. Now also it is unlike a straight line, but less unlike a straight line. That is the curvature. And it is concave to limited, but still its concavity includes a lot more, but still excludes everything else. This is the circle. Now you apply your mind. There is a thing called a limiting point or limiting circle. The radius is increasing. Now I will increase the radius to infinity or tending to infinity. The radius tends to infinity. Then the curvature tends to zero. Means the perimeter of the circle is almost like a straight line. And its concavity is infinite. Means it includes all and excludes nothing. This is called a limiting circle. Okay? Further, when you get that circle with infinite radius, it will have a center everywhere. That point you got? Why not? You right away say no. When the radius is limited, it will have one center. But the radius is infinite, any point can be center. Because it includes all and excludes nothing. Therefore, every point could be a center. That is the example. Now this guy who is identified with the physical body is like that smallest circle. He includes one physical body and excludes everything else. Everything else is not self. This physical body alone is the self. Therefore I love, self is what you love. Therefore I love the physical body, nothing else. Why should I love the physical body? Because it is not physical body, it is myself. Identification, Because I am saying, I am talking of discrimination, I am saying physical body. But the person who identifies, he doesn't say physical body. He says it is myself, total identification. So that is the smallest circle. Now this guy, he expands a little. And now he marries a lady. Now into his concavity, the lady has come within that concavity. And then children also. Let us say two. We two, ours two. Aham, avam, vayam. So, therefore, the radius has increased now. So, as the radius has increased, now within the circle you find himself, his wife and two children. He doesn't want to put in-laws and parents and all that. They will remain outside the circle. So he will pay some lip sympathy occasionally, but otherwise they remain outside the circle. Therefore, this is what is called me and my family syndrome. Just wait. It will come. Yeah, it has become very poor. Circle is somewhat bigger, including me and my family. So now he not only loves himself, but also loves the wife and children. It's a growth. It's a growth. Because there are people who don't care for the wife and children. He will take the money and drink and sit somewhere. Therefore, there is a growth in that. At least he takes care of the family. And then you increase it further. Suppose it increases further. This increases, he identifies with the community. That is the increase. Now, like in India, these are the community organizations are there, like Nayar Society of the Kerala, very famous. All the Nayars are a community, they are all members of that community, that society. And that Nayar Society is an economic machine it is, and it has done great service to the Nayar community, wherever they are, all over the world. And so this person who identifies with the Nayar community, he loves every Nayar. Includes, now his concavity includes all Nayars, but excludes non-Nayars, all of them. Even Keralites are excluded. If they are not Nayars, they don't fit into it. All caste societies are like that. India is full of them. You must be knowing it. Suppose you go to, there is a place in Andhra Pradesh, or maybe Telangana now, called Srisailam. You get down there, you will find all chowtries. Chowtry means a public place, satram they call chowtry. Every chowtry has a name with a caste. Brahmana satram, Kshatriya satram, Vaishya satram, then Setti Balija satram, Kapu satram, every satra. Once I went to a Kshatriya satram. I said, give me a room. Are you a Kshatriya? I don't know. Give me a room. So I took them room without claiming that I am a Kshatriya or whatever. They gave me. They had to give me. So this way, they are so, there is expansion. There is expansion. But again, the expansion is only that much. The concavity includes all the community people, but outside the community, they are excluded. In this, what happens is, there is love for everybody within the concavity, and therefore, outside the concavity, there is either hate or indifference. In this, there is a great advantage that people within the concavity get benefited because of that love, but the love of that kind of a limited love leads to caste wars. They happen in India all the time. When an election comes, it is the Mahabharata battle of all the castes. In Mahabharata, many kings came and fought with each other. Whereas in an election, especially in a place like Uttar Pradesh, etc., all the castes will be fighting with each other. That is how elections are fought. And quite often, because of this caste identities and there is love for one's own caste, and in a given situation, it is provoked in the opposite direction and becomes hate. The identities are like that. When things are favorable, the identity doesn't seem to be painful, doesn't seem to be toxic or hostile. But when the person is provoked adequately, the identity, it turns into hate. Like I am a Brahmana, I am very sure about it. You are what are you? I am a Kshatriya. Okay, good. We live together. But if there is enough provocation, then I will go and attack the Kshatriya. The provocation must be there. Because there is no provocation, I am eating my food, you are eating your food, we are goody. Because of the divisive thinking is there, When there is divisive thinking, fragmentary thinking, with enough provocation, it turns into hate. Because the love is not pure anymore. Therefore, these community leaders, they cause caste wars and community wars in which many people are killed and a lot of blood is spilled. Suppose you expand further. Take the expansion to the national level. And then you are a nationalist. There is a difference between patriotism and nationalism. Patriotism is merely the love for the fellow country people. Whereas nationalism comes with a lot of pride and a feeling of superiority, and then our nation is supreme, our nation is superior. Why? Why our nation is superior? You know why? Because I am born in it. What a reason it is. What kind of a reason it is. And then all other nations are inferior. This kind of superiority of nationalism, it is in its ugly form, it is called fascism. And this fascism is responsible for the Second World War. And I don't know much about the First World War, but I studied a lot about Second World War. It is entirely caused by the intense nationalism, like German nationalism, Italian fascism. Not only Germany and Italy, they were the main Axis powers, but there are other countries like Romania and then Hungary and other countries, Austria even. In all these European countries, there was intense nationalism, and Czechoslovakia, and because of which the feeling of nationalism was so strong that those who are of the same nationality are my brothers. I love them. I am ready to sacrifice the life for them. But the other national people are inferior and they should be subjugated and also killed. Therefore you have wars. The Second World War, the most brutal world war. So, therefore the nationalism, it is such a great expansion. The person sacrifices his life for the love of his fellow nationalists, fellow countrymen. There is a spirit of pan-Indian feeling. And I love the fellow Indians or maybe fellow Americans, whatever. And for the sake of my love for them, I am ready to sacrifice my life. Very, very wonderful thing it is. Very inclusive. Very greatly inclusive. But these nationalists, they start bitter wars. All wars are started by nationalists only. Japanese nationalism of the Second World War, the most militant nationalism was there in Japan, even more militant than Germany. Japanese nationalism of the Second World War. So the nationalism on one side, on the inclusive side, it is very great, but on the exclusive side, it is most destructive. Suppose you expand further, in which you love every human being. This is called humanism. There is a big movement like that, humanism. In Hyderabad, I know a humanist. He's a great scholarly person, and he's a well-known humanist. Shall I tell the name? Gogineni Babu. Big name could be there, that is a small part, brief name. He's a humanist, well-known all over the world. Not only in India, he goes to Europe, London, and he's a humanist. And he works for the human beings. Anywhere, a human being, anywhere, male or female, of any religion, of any caste, creed, race, religion, if the human rights are violated, he is there. I mean, he tries. A person can do only this much. He is a great humanist. Like that, there may be other people like that. So they love the human being. The human being is loved. Their expansion of the heart is very vast. But they don't have that love for animals. I'm not saying about Gogineni or somebody, a particular person. Generally the humanists, they don't care for animals. Daily, millions of animals are slaughtered for the sake of filling the tummy of all these humans. Why should it be like that? Why should I kill an animal for the sake of my comfort? Therefore, the humanism is also, however glorious, it is glorious. It includes the entire humanity within it, but unfortunately it excludes all life. Now suppose you go beyond that and you reach a point where all life you love, then you have reached a point where you call Atmava idagum sarvam. You got the point? That is the kind of expansion Vedanta talks about. That's why when students of Vedanta, they study the Shruti, which has soared to the infinite heights of the vision, in which there is no fragmentation whatsoever, there is no division whatsoever. They study that Shruti, pay some lip service to that Shruti, and then convert it into a dead letter by practicing divisive customs. Isn't it so? So, where is Atmava idagam sarvan? Where are the type of customs that we follow which divide man from man? What a misfortune it is. We have converted the Shruti, which says Atmava idagam sarvam, into a dead letter. That is the most unfortunate thing. That is also the reason for the downfall of India in the medieval periods. Therefore, now a point comes when you are able to love all life in this creation. Here I have replaced the word Atma with love. You should notice that. There is a reason for that. The reason is Atma is love. Whatever you love is Atma, and whatever is Atma, you love it. Atma and Priyaha are kind of paryayas, synonyms, kind of synonyms. Whatever is Priya, loved by you, is the Atma. And whatever is the Atma is the loved one. Now, you have to expand. You see, here is a person who is like the gyrating or spinning that wooden thing that spins, top, spinning top. They call it top? Yeah. So it is spinning. And it spins with a tremendous speed. It is called gyrating motion. And because if it spins slowly, it will fall. It acquires a particular speed, then only it can stand. And it stands and appears static. But it is not static. It is spinning vehemently. But it is spinning around itself. And people who are devoted to this body are like that spinning tops. They are very active in life. They make a lot of money. They do many things, but all aimed at oneself. Our religionists are no different. They do all rituals and pujas and all that. Like that top was spinning. Very active. Big pujas. For what? I should go to heaven. Is that not like that spindle kind of? Is it a spindle? Whatever. The top. Therefore, a very active guy, but all activity is self-centered, or activity arising out of self-concern or fear, very active, but he is like that spinning top, entirely self-centered. Now he improves, he grows. Suppose you are like that to begin with. Let us say, now you grow. How do you grow now? You are like a horse going round and round a ground. Horse run. It covers a long area, a long distance it runs around, and it includes a lot of area in between. Like that, he gets married and children. And so he is now like the horse running around a particular area. But the horse doesn't stray, he runs around that only. Or even you can say, this bullock, its eyes are closed and it is tied to a pole and it will be going round and round. Where this oil is, the oil seeds are pressed, the oil press. So he is that, the samsaris are that kind of, like that bull. They will be going, the bull will always be going around. It cannot rest from morning to evening. It will be going round and round and round. Very active. But always only that much circle. The samsaris are like that bull with eyes closed. It cannot see this side, that side. It can only see that small circle. Samsaris are exactly like that bull. And then you grow further like let us say the trade winds. The trade winds, they go round and round a huge mass of land, like monsoon. It starts somewhere in Cape Town or Africa and comes all the way, covers India and goes back. So it covers a very large area. That is the growth. Then you become like the earth. Further you grow. You become like the earth going round and round the sun. Or the moon motion. Like moon going round the earth. Covers the entire globe. Or like the earth going round the sun. Like that you are a patriot and so you love the entire nation. And then the earth going round the sun. You are a humanist and love the entire humanity. And then finally you are the son of Atma. The sun in the galaxy, it moves in a straight line. Sun doesn't move in a circle. It moves in a straight line.
It moves in ellipse. There is elliptical radius for this one. It's 130 million light years.
So for us it looks like a straight line. What about this zodiac and all that?
All everything is moving in ellipse.
So therefore our people are have a fertile imagination about all that. Therefore it moves in a straight line. In the galaxy, the sun moves in the straight line. That means now the circle has reached the infinite radius. Therefore the Mahatma's movement, Mahatmas are also active. They are also active. Not only the spindle or the top, spinning top is active, Not only the bullock is active, not only the horse is active, not only the trade winds are active, the moon is active, the earth is active, but also the sun is active too. The sun is moving in a straight line. Take it like that, moving in a straight line in the galaxy. And the movement of the Mahatmas is like that of the sun. For them, their Atma, there is no myself and yourself. There is no his self or herself. It is all one self, which is the self of all. That is the circle having the center everywhere. The circle with infinite radius having the center everywhere. So I have given two illustrations. So to cover this Sarvatma Bhava. So you have to grow to that vision. That is what Vedanta is. Now don't say it is difficult. You see, when you love a thing with all your being, then it is not difficult. Then you will not call it difficult. You will not make it difficult. And there will be obstacles. Certainly there will be obstacles. But when you love a thing with all your being, you will face the obstacles. And don't complain that it is difficult. Whereas in our life, we always complain that it is difficult. Because we do not love with all our being. We have very partial love. We love in a very conditioned way. Very conditioned. We love Vedanta, but subject to a variety of conditions, we love Vedanta. I love Vedanta, but my daughter is doing this and that, and I should do something about it. My son is yet to get married, therefore I have to do something. So with all, subject to all these conditions, I love Vedanta. So samsaris are like that. They don't love with all their being. Even a Swami could be like that. I love Vedanta, I love Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, but then I have to run, I have to expand my ashram. And my religion is more is superior to other religions. There is another problem. Why your religion is superior to other religions? Because you are born in it. That is the reason, you know. Then there is another thing. My guru is superior to other gurus. What is your guru? He knows the self. Do you know the self? I don't know. Then how do you know he knows the self and he is superior to other gurus? You say your guru is superior to other gurus in a topic that you yourself don't know. This is called fanaticism. So, now let me talk of this Sarvatma Bhava. Suppose I ask you, you are a person, but at the same time, you are a family man also. Now, a person becoming a family man, how difficult it is? Is it difficult? No. Because a person in becoming a family man, he has to sacrifice some of the personal comforts for the sake of the members of the family. Is it difficult? We do it all the time. Now, you tell me, a family guy becoming one who loves the community, is it difficult? Should not be difficult. People are doing it all the time. And then you are a Brahmana, identity, Brahmana Association president. So you are totally identified with the community. A Brahmana becoming a Hindu, how difficult it is. What should he do now? A Brahmana has to become a Hindu. What should he do now? There is nothing to do. It's only the expansion of the vision. Suppose a Brahmana becomes a Hindu. Is it going against the Brahmana? No, because the Brahmana is included. There is not excluded. If it is against, then it will be excluded. He is not excluded, he is included. Therefore, I ask you the question. You are a Brahmana, God bless you, I have nothing against that. But suppose you want to become a Hindu, because when you say you are a Brahmana, you exclude Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, everybody else. But when you say Hindu, you include all of them. So I ask you, how difficult it is for a Brahmana to grow into a Hindu? How difficult it is. Good. The response is very encouraging. Now I ask you, how difficult it is to be for a Hindu to become an Indian? Let us take it like that in the present context. Because in India there are not only Hindus, but there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are Parsis, Sikhs. Sikhs are within the Hindu fold only in a way. So, you are a Hindu, but there are other than Hindus also. 80% are Hindus, but other communities are there. Other ethnic people or whatever, religious people. But to become an Indian, what should you do now? What is to be done? You have to overcome your own pettiness, your own identification. You have to overcome that. Now, whether it is easy or difficult, you decide. There is no thing to be done about it. It is not about karma. As a Hindu, you are great, but you better feel like an Indian, so that now you include in your vision or in your concavity or in your love, now the love that you have, it covers not only Hindus but other communities also. Now I ask you, how difficult for an Indian to become a humanist? Should not be difficult. You see, I will come to that later. Humanist. You become a humanist. Our rishis were humanists. They were not identified with a caste, creed, etc. For them, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. They said, Ayam paroveti, Ayam nijah paroveti, Ganana laghu chetasam, Udara cheritanantu, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. He is our person, he is other, he is not our person. He is Swa, he is Para. This kind of division, this kind of fragmentary thinking is there for people of petty-minded people. Laghu chetasam. Whereas people who have a big heart, for them, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire universe is their family. So suppose when I say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the entire universe is my family, am I going against India and Indians? No, I am not going against anything, because Vasudhaiva includes the Indians also. And suppose I grow even beyond that, you can. Who stops you? So it should not be difficult to love all life. Suppose you feel the tenderness of love in your heart, that you don't want to touch a plant or a tree. Once I felt like leaning upon a tree, felt like leaning and a branch is there, leaning or hanging from that or leaning upon it, felt like, then immediately I got a doubt. Should I do that? First I should ask the tree permission. Oh tree, please permit me to lean upon you. And if it gives permission, I can lean. But in the absence of that permission, how can I lean? Can you go and lean upon other people in the marketplace? So I did not feel like leaning. I did not feel like touching it. I did not feel like plucking a leaf or a flower or whatever. Because I love all life. This is what is called Atmaivedam Sarvam. So, you have to acquire that state in which you realize the entire universe as your own self. So you should reach that stage. I am the wave, I am the river and I am the ocean. All existence, I am. I am the fire and I am the moth that jumps into the fire blindly. And I am the moon, cool, and I am the earth going round the sun, and I am the sun burning brilliantly. And I am the young maid who is whispering with a lot of concern into our beloved's ears. And I am the beloved too. I am all. I am the mosquito, I am the elephant, I am the lion, and I am the deer that is predated by the lion. I am all. I am the tree and I am the plant, and I am the flower, and I am the wise and I am the ignorant. I am the criminal and I am the king and I am the servant. I am all. So, this is the vision of Mahatmas. That is called Sarvatma Bhava. So, that Sarvatma Bhava is presented by the Vakya Atmaivedam Sarvam, Brahmaivedam Sarvam. The beasts, the birds, the mountains, the trees are my own self. The rivers are like the blood circulating in my arteries. So everything is me and myself. The sun and moon are my eyes. See, in the Sahasranama, you will find Soma Surya Agni Lochanaya Namaha. That is what it means. The sun and the moon are my eyes. Like that. So, this kind of a spiritual unity with all, you have to feel. You have to feel or you have to realize the spiritual unity with all. That is the ultimate aim of true religion. There is a thing called true religion. You have to check. The religion that you practice comes under that category. Any hint of fragmentary or divisive thinking in you as part of your religion, it goes against the very spirit of a true religion. You should rise above the walls that are erected by these religions. You should rise above all those walls. And the religion should not become an obstacle for the realization of spiritual unity with all. So people have to take care of that. So you have to purify your heart by driving away malice, jealousy, anger, frustration, hatred, spite, rivalry, competition, ambition. Because if you are competing with your own self. All these things you have to drive away. And you have to practice to love all like your own self. The one who reveres you, you love. The one who puts you down, you love with the same intensity. So, and then you forgive those whom you consider your enemies. There is a statement coming from Bible. I forgive those whom I consider my enemies, so that even I will get the eligibility to seek forgiveness from God for my own faults. I want forgiveness from God, right? Then you go ahead and forgive your enemies right away. So, the enemies, the opponents, the fault finders and the adversaries, love all of them. In Bible it is said, love thy enemy. Why should you love thy enemy? Because there is no enemy. The so-called enemy is indeed yourself. Love thy neighbor, but then the entire humanity is your neighbor. That is how. So you have to reach that highest stage of realizing your oneness with all. When this universal unity is realized, there is diversity, which is there. Which is there means it appears, the seeming diversity. The diversity is strikingly visible. Visible because it appears, because the mind is like that. It sees diversity, and therefore diversity seems. Therefore, you need not fight against the diversity. It is not a fight or it is not a reform. It is reaching that highest level of oneness with all. When this universal unity is realized, In this, a man has nothing to worry about now. All your fear will come to an end, because there is nothing to be afraid of, because there is only one self. Therefore, when you discover this oneness, in that oneness all evils and virtues, all opposites, pleasures and pains, good and bad, good and evil, etc., all the opposites will dissolve like salt in water. That oneness is a universal solvent that dissolves all variety of the universe. So, there is no you and there is no he or she. There is only I. There is no second person and third person. There is only first person. That is I. And I am all. You have to just feel this unity in yourself. And then you have to feel that all this creation is your own body. So once you realize that, you are liberated. This is what is called Sarvatma Bhava. And the Sarvatma Bhava is another name for moksha. Atmaivedam Sarvam, Brahmaivedam Sarvam. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate